There's always some controversy going on. There's always something to talk about. And I thank the internet for that. But this one, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. So N3on is a streamer who, in my opinion, is extremely toxic. I am not a fan of him. I feel like he's this little dork who I really should just not have the platform that he has, but he has it. And so I commend him for creating it. But I was scrolling on Twitter today and I came across a video of him being arrested in Dubai for illegally filming.
Put the camera down. Oh, okay. It's off. All cameras are off. I just want to let you know we're trying to work with you guys. I'm really sorry.
If we can't film it, it's a problem. We can just leave if that's a. But the people.
Guest services said we're okay. If it's not okay, we can leave. We don't want problems.
Go to the office and after you take it.
Okay.
Give me all your ID.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
I'm so sorry, sir.
So I understand that it's not official, right?
Are we going to jail? Are we going to jail? Bro. Where are we going?
To the office, they said.
Bro.
But we went to guest services. That's where. Okay, guest services is where we got permission, ma'am. I want to let you know. So anyone who could clear this up is going to be in guest services as well.
Oh, there's a Ripley's Believe It or Not.
They didn't give us anything. They said they were going to send.
That's the camera.
They said they were going to send. They took a picture of my passport, and they said they would send it to the WhatsApp group chat.
Close it or not close it? Close.
We will go to the office and
close it. Put it down. Just put it down, bro. Put it down. What are you doing, bro?
Now, as much as I want to say that it's stupid to get arrested for something like that, if you go to another country, you have to follow their laws. That's just the way that it works. And if you don't, you end up getting yourself arrested. And a lot of people are celebrating this because he does do a lot of like weird, morally wrong things here in America, and not necessarily stuff that's going to get him arrested, but just kind of like scumbag shit, if we're being honest. And so people are happy to see that he's finally being held accountable for something. And I'm not going to lie, part of me understands it because I'm not the biggest fan of him. At the same time, I don't wish downfall on anybody. And I feel like if you're in another country and you get arrested, like that shit could be scary. Like you don't know how they're going to handle things. You don't know what kind of process you're going to go through. Like you don't really know what to expect. So I kind of feel for him at the same time. Now, I don't think he's going to get in a whole lot of trouble. I'm seeing things pop up on Twitter like, he's been sentenced to 1 year in prison, and I don't believe that it's going to happen that quickly, and there's no sources that are confirming that. I think people are just running with it, trying to get some clicks. Clickbait is like the biggest thing in the world on the internet anymore, and everybody just wants to dive in. They see a popular topic, and they're like, yo, let me just create a lie around it, and everyone's going to flock to my tweet. So I wouldn't necessarily buy into this whole he's doing a year in prison thing. I don't think any of that's been decided yet. But funny enough, it apparently is a possibility. So I started to look up what some of the laws were over there as far as illegally filming, what the charges could be. And I found that you can be charged quite a lot of money, but you could also do anywhere from 6 months to a year in prison, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Like all you did was film something. But again, if you go to another country, you kind of just got to follow their laws, whether you agree with it or not. And before you go, you should always know what you're getting yourself into. Like it blows my mind that he's most likely got a team of people because he's making a lot of money. He's got a very big viewership, and not a single one of them looked into Dubai to be like, hey, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't record. You shouldn't like, right? Like I feel like you should have people around you that are telling you what you should and shouldn't do. But apparently that's not the case, or they just misunderstood it and they thought that they were okay to record something, and then it got them into this situation. Now, I also saw a clip from Aiden Ross, who last I knew, they didn't really get along, even though I feel like Aiden kind of created N3on, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the entire background of it, but he said that he's trying to help him and that one of his friends, as far as one of N3on's friends, is the reason why it's becoming extremely hard to do.
I'm doing everything that I can do to try to help, but people around him made it really hard. Because there's clips like, I'm not gonna say specifically who, but you guys can put two and two together. Someone around him mocked them pretty bad to where it's like they fucked it up. I'm not gonna lie. Based off what they said. Who cares? I'm gonna stop talking about it.
So based on what he said, I tried to find some more clips. I tried to find some other videos that showed this friend being disrespectful. And the only thing I could find was just they continued to film when they said that they weren't. And then it got to a point where he said, yo, just put the camera down, just put it down. Like, what are you doing? Although I'm pretty sure he knew that they were still recording. He just realized it was getting more and more serious. And so he wanted to act like he wasn't a part of it. Like I don't even know that he's doing that. Why are you recording still? And that's kind of where it gets tricky. Like a lot of these people that are streamers, they get told to turn off a camera. And in some situations, you shouldn't have to. And I totally agree with you trying to sneak it or be like, you know what, I can do what I want. But if you're on private property, or if you're in another country and they have the right to tell you that you can't do this, and then people try to act like, oh no, the camera's off because they don't want to stop getting the content. They're like, yo, this is going to go viral. That's what they think in their head. And you're going to get yourself in trouble. And I feel like this is one of those situations where that could have pushed things further, where they're like, yo, they told us that it was turned off and it wasn't. And then on top of that, the video is now online. So I found a situation where somebody else had filmed a cop unknowingly. Now I tried to find out exactly what they ended up being charged with. It just says that you can get arrested, you can get a big fine, you could potentially do jail time, but none of it said what actually happened to them. So part of me thinks that like there's the possibility of that, but I don't think that he's gonna end up being in all that much trouble. I feel like, okay, he's from America, maybe didn't understand the laws. Like as long as they're not being complete dickheads, I think that they're gonna probably let it go. But again, like Aiden said, if one of his friends was mocking them, was really being disrespectful, they might try to stick him with something. And I don't know that it's gonna be jail time so much as probably just a really big fine. But sometimes they want to make examples of people. And it still gets tricky though, because I feel like when you're an American and you have some power with money and stuff like that, and you go somewhere else and you get in some trouble as far as like filming illegally, like, right, you didn't do anything crazy, you didn't kill somebody or something like that, and you end up getting arrested and they try to give you jail time. I feel like there's methods for you to try to get yourself out of it because you have money and power and you're from America. I could be wrong about that, but it feels like that to me as far as other situations that I've seen over the years. So I don't think he's going to be in all that much trouble. I think that everybody that's celebrating him getting arrested, I think is going to end up being short-lived. They're probably going to try to scare him, probably try to keep him there for as long as possible, drag this out maybe, try to make it, you know, an uncomfortable situation, an annoying situation. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to do a year jail. I don't think he's going to do 6 months. I might be wrong. And then you guys can continue on celebrating, but I don't think that that's going to happen. And I guess it's just a lesson that if you stream, if you do anything, even if you're just an average person and you go to another country, know what you're getting yourself into, know the laws, like look up everything you can, ask questions, like be a smart individual. Don't go there with the ignorant mindset of just, I can do whatever I want to do, or I can do the same thing I do in America. Because it's not the case. It's not the case. So I'm curious what's going to happen if more stuff does occur, if he does end up doing time or he's getting held in jail for a longer period of time and we get some more information out of it. I will definitely make an updated video, but I feel like I'm pretty sure that the next thing we see in the next day or two is going to be, oh, he's been released and he's got this much of a fine and he'll address it. And then he'll probably just come home to avoid any more problems, but we'll find out. Just wanted to talk about that. Take it easy. Stay safe. I'll catch you in the next one, homies.